Welcome back to another episode of Protein Bros Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jeff. We just got done talking to Kinsey and Jonathan from the Notion Lagree Fitness Studio in Lee Summit, Missouri. You guys are not familiar with Lagree. I honestly personally was not. They talk us through it. It's been around for years. It's a hybrid between lifting, bodybuilding, etc., with Pilates. And they have this massive machine you guys are going to find out more about called a Megaformer. We talk through Jonathan and Kinsey's backgrounds. They're both been into athletics for years. Kinsey's actually a doctor of physical therapy. They walk us through what inspired them to open this space, what got them into Lagree, what made them love it so much, and the community that they're building out at the Notion Fitness Studio in Lee Summit. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, share the podcast. It's the only way we get the word out. And if you support local fitness, we'd love to have you support us by giving us a subscribe. So let's get into the episode. Tell me this, guys. So the name Notion, okay? What was the actual inspiration behind that name, and how many names did you guys have to go through to narrow it down?
So that one came from my sister and I, and we knew we were going to open a Lagree Studio. Knew it, but the name was really big. We didn't want our names attached to it. We wanted the brand to stand on its own. And crazy enough, I literally walked on a treadmill or ran on a treadmill for like an hour in silence, just like trying to think through all these ideas, all these different names, and Notion came up, and it was like, that was it. Just kind of knew right away. You know, you almost get like the chills. Mm-hmm. And because Notion and motion kind of together, and then also a word that we don't use all the time, but we know is a word that, that we can recognize. And then lastly, just the spark of an idea. That was the biggest thing. Is like Notion is the spark of an idea. All great things come from just like a single notion. So that was a really big one. And I don't think you argued on that at all. I literally came home and said Notion. And you were like, okay.
Yeah, honestly, we were just looking for like a one-word name that could really, grab people's attention and matched with our current. Because we had like our brand built up already. We just needed that name that was going to match with what we were trying to get accomplished.
Tell me this, is that the ownership structure? Is the two of you only, or is your sister involved as well?
No, just the two of us. My little sister's just super business-minded and just loves me and wants me to be happy.
Yeah,
so
supportive sister.
She
Sounds
was
awesome.
super helpful. She was in getting her MBA from Columbia University, and she was just like, she's just a big business-minded person too.
Love
so
it.
she was like super integral in that first bit of just that grind. Every single day, I'm working full time, you're working hard, and I'm calling her all the time, like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? So
you guys have so for our listeners specifically, I want to break down Lagree, okay? Because a lot of people, it's been around a long time, but it hasn't been around a long time in Missouri. You guys are the very first studio to come to the Missouri side of Kansas City. Talk us through what people should expect from Lagree.
So Lagree is a time under tension workout. Anything that you can do in the gym, you can do on a Mega Pro machine, which is the latest version of the Megaformer. Bench press, squat, single leg squat, side action movements, hamstring curls, all that type of thing. You can do it on the Mega Pro. And we just tell people that when they come in there, have a mindset that I am working out. I'm trying to get stronger. I'm seeking muscle activation, blood circulation. And it has origins of what Pilates was, but the differentiation from Pilates is more restorative. Lagree is much more of a workout. I'm going to get a sweat in. I'm trying to get stronger. I'm trying to sculpt. I'm trying to build on what I was working on that last time I was on that Mega Pro.
Mm-hmm. And for our listeners, I want to kind of break down restorative as well. My wife does restorative yoga as an instructor, and it's like I've done hot yoga, I've done yoga sculpt, and then I've done restorative yoga, and it's just like way more lax, right? Mm-hmm. So it might say so in the name, but restorative in the form of Pilates, like you're saying, you can feel a lot more sitting in the movements for a lot longer, not really truly putting on a real sweat, if you will, comparatively. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and Pilates is an amazing exercise. Like, I'm certified in Pilates. I've been doing Pilates for 8 years, but it was always in my regimen. It was used for like restoration. Mm-hmm. And Joseph Pilates created Pilates a long time ago. and it was actually utilized for helping soldiers recover from post-war trauma mentally and physically. So at its origin, it is very restorative. Even if you make it harder, you're actually going against what Pilates is about.
Oh, understood. Yeah.
So with Lagree, the founder of it, Sebastian, he was a Pilates instructor, and he would have all his clients post Pilates class. They would go over to the gym and lift, and he asked them, like, why would they be doing gym stuff after Pilates? Is because they were like, we need more of a pump. So that's where he kind of came up with Lagree, which was called Pilates Plus. At that time, he took more weightlifting exercises with heavier spring loads, and he did it on the reformer, which is Pilates based, and then he created the Megaformer and created his own movements, his own spring loads, and his own tension loads. And that's what separates it from Pilates. So much more weightlift based.
Can you, for anybody who might not know, can you guys kind of explain what the Megaformer is and how it differs from just a regular Pilates reformer?
For sure. So this is
Which
the
here it
Megaformer. There's a front and back platform. They're stable surfaces. And then you can see her moving this carriage. So the carriage is either assisted or resisted utilizing spring loads. And so you can already see Maggie working hard, shaking there. You can see a little deadlift, RDL action. And so that carriage is either going to be heavy or light depending on your movement. And then we're, again, moving through all sorts of upper body, lower body, core work, total body workout, 45 minutes, time under tension, slow and controlled. And when you think you're moving slow enough, move a little bit slower, and you're probably still moving too fast.
So it's adaptable for like everybody's differing strength levels, basically.
Absolutely.
Through the spring system.
Yep, super scalable. So if you're weak and you're have poor balance, maybe we'll throw in an extra spring load to help stabilize you just a little bit. Now you're more advanced, you don't need that assistance. We'll take off a spring load. That's if we're working in light loads, if we want to focus stability. Now, if you want more of our heavy pressing loads, we are already working on a heavier spring, and then bigger, stronger guys like you guys, it's like, all right, we're throwing on more springs for you guys, but you can be doing the exact same workout as somebody next to you, just on different spring loads, still getting a really great workout that's just scalable to what you need, what your tension load
truly
needs to be.
something for all fitness levels,
Absolutely.
it sounds like.
Yep, absolutely.
Is this for anybody who's listening to this, is this more of like a zone 2, zone 3 type workout, or are you guys getting people's heart rates up high?
It's more, so it's stamina, but it's not cardio. So
Right.
you are working for 45 minutes straight, no breaks, but your heart rate isn't going to spike up. You're
Right.
really not going to be spiking up over,
It's not like an Orange Theory class.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're working hard, your heart rate is increased, but you're not going to be like in that, like out of breath. You really are never going to be out of breath, because you need your breath for core engagement. And that's the key in Lagree, is your core is engaged the whole time. So if you're actually out of breath, you're unable to engage your core properly. And so, we're looking at that heart rate, 100, maybe 120, really, if you were really
Just
like
slightly
kinda,
elevated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit higher, but not shooting to the ceiling.
Certainly looks intense, though.
Oh yeah, high intensity, low impact. That's our that's the phrase there. High intensity, low impact.
Nice. So we were talking earlier before the podcast about, some back injuries that, I personally have had in the past. Can you kind of explain how, this type of training can help somebody, not full on rehab, but definitely help shore up any kind of injuries that somebody would have?
Sure. Yeah. So,
And maybe also, while you're talking about that, explain your background, because I think that's pertinent to, this conversation.
Sure. Yeah. I'm a physical therapist. I have my doctorate in physical therapy from KU Med. I was a physical therapist for 8 years until leaving my career to open a Notion Lagree Studio, because I believe in it so much that I can help more people with Lagree than I can just sitting in clinic churning and burning. So all that being said, low back pain saw every single day, all day. Hip pain, knee pain, and a lot of the issue with low back pain is we don't have the strongest cores. What we do most of the time, we're sitting, we're working on a computer, our cores get very weak over time. And even if you are working out your core at the gym, you're not working it out for 45 minutes functionally, and sometimes we're just crunching. You're not going to see crunching in Lagree. We're working on core stability through active movement. So you're functionally training spinal stability, not just like nice looking abs. You're really working on stabilizing the spine in a neutral spine, safe movement out, and just adding more and more challenge to that. And so as a physical therapist, I had low back pain, knew what I needed to do, never did what I needed to do. Started Lagree, back pain's well under control. I can lift heavier, really do whatever I want to do, no back pain.
Yeah, what you said about the, it wasn't until I started going to physical therapy and started realizing like, oh, I haven't been bracing correctly for a very long time, that I was like, well, it makes sense that my back hurts, which also kind of makes sense why you guys are focused on not getting people's heart rates up too much, because with bracing in that way, it's virtually impossible to do when your heart rate gets really high.
Absolutely, because your breath has so much to do with the core being engaged. And as you know, with going through physical therapy, our abdomen is a canister. We actually want that pressure, and the only way to get that pressure is through core engagement and our breath together.
Right. So give me, we talked about, Kinsey's background. What about your background, Jonathan?
Yeah, so I played college sports as well as 7 years in professional sports, and I learned throughout my time in sports that you really have to take care of your body. And like I said, I started out with doing Pilates, which is an amazing exercise. I still do it to this day. But on those days where I really wanted to still get a strong lift in, I could supplement in Lagree. And so that's what Lagree has done for me. I also have developed osteoarthritis in both of my knees. And with the movements on the Mega Pro, since it's a bigger machine than like a reformer, there's a lot more that you can do as far as like lunges, squats, and with the tension load, you really can work on that time under tension, slow and controlled movement that will bring blood flow into those injured areas, that will through time help you heal and develop stronger tendons, as well as that slow and controlled count that we go with really activates all of those muscles in those joints that are needing that extra protection. Right. So it's been, really helpful for me. And that's why we, with our backgrounds, me being former sports and her being a physical therapist, we really can do more than just teach you Lagree. Mm-hmm. We can transfer all the knowledge of everything we've learned about taking care of your body and what she's learned in school and what I've had to learn through my career about, taking care of my body, to transfer that into the Lagree method into our clients.
When you, sorry to cut you off, but this has to do with this. You're leading classes, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you're leading classes and you see, people's movement patterns that are dysfunctional, is Lagree fixing that, just the method itself, or are you stepping in and saying, hey, you're not engaging your glutes in the right way, or you're not pushing through the balls of your feet, are you doing that, or is the method itself is fixing people's movement patterns without even having to coach in that way?
So of course we're needed, right? You have to be able to see. You're like, oh, we got to shift that knee back slightly. So heavy cueing, heavy hands-on adjustment too. But if you do the method right, it is going to fix those imbalances if we do the method right. But it's that balance between someone has to recognize you're doing it improperly and then cue you to do it properly. And then if you complete the repetitions in that improved form, then it is going to improve those imbalances over time.
And going off this question too, one of the issues that I had for a long time, which caused my back issues a little bit, was ankle immobility. And it's hard to become mobile in your ankles. It's hard to become mobile in your hips a lot of times. Is Lagree take care of that basically for people? Is it a method that is going to naturally increase mobility in all your joints?
Absolutely. I have not stretched in 5 years, and I'm the most mobile.
Well, technically, this thing, it seems like that thing stretches you out
exactly.
pretty.
Because you're moving, you're actively stretching.
Right.
So instead of all right, I got to sit here and stretch
static
for forever,
stretch.
Static stretch, which no one's doing.
Right.
I can send you home with a handbook and be like, do these exercises. Not going to do it. But you're dynamically dynamically stretching, but not in that way where you're like, that bouncing that we were always like, oh, stop, don't like bounce in your stretch, but slow, controlled movements. And it's really amazing to see what the body can do if you just slow things down, do it with that proper form. And the body wants to move in the right way. It doesn't really want to move with the knees internally rotated and the feet kind of diving in. It doesn't want to do that. But over
mine
time,
does for sure.
And if I could add on, because you had brought up about like is Lagree already built to, kind of help make good adjustments with the body. The whole concept behind this method, they call it an anti-inflammatory method, as well as the MegaPro is an anti-inflammatory machine, because it's being designed, the whole method, the machine itself is designed to take less stress off of your joints. And with the lifts that they have on there, when you lunge with those lifts on, you barely feel, your knees as you're lunging down, or if you're squatting with the lifts up, supposed to if you're on a flat surface. If you already have some irritations in those knee joints or whatever it is, like you're going to feel it. And that's why, like, when you go to a physical therapist, or they're even doing it in some like sports specific training to where they give you like a platform lift to squat off on and stuff like that. This is the machine itself. It's already has those lifts to kind of like take added pressure off the joints, or those lifts can help you with like muscle activation as well.
Right. Nice.
Jonathan, I wanted to get into, and honestly, Kinsey, you too, as far as like when you guys first got done with school, if you will, you were going to get your doctorate, you were heading into professional athletics. You guys were given kind of tools to help with all the exercises you guys had been doing. And so just basically it's like you had this like institutional kind of instruction. And I feel like you guys have both navigated and found what worked best for you, and that was Lagree. How does Lagree differ from kind of like the traditional methods that you guys were taught, and what was so attractive about Lagree that made you kind of want to explore more options?
So for me, I've been training since I was like, 10 years old. Very sport specific, heavy training, like, all the stuff you would do like at a sports combine, the 40-yard dash, the vertical jump, all that kind of stuff. And very explosive movements in the weight room. So the differentiation from what I was doing to this was having to like slow down. I still remember my first Lagree class 6 years ago. And
were you still playing professionally at the time?
I was, yeah. So I was still playing professionally. It was in the off season, and I got on ClassPass, and I was like looking for different Pilates classes to try, and I saw this Lagree, and I thought it was Pilates, and I went in there, and within 5 minutes, I was like, nah, this is different, a lot different. And at first, I wasn't going to go back, but then I ended up continuing to go back. But I had to really learn to slow down, and that was what was different for me, because everything else was very quick and explosive. And I had to retrain my brain to really be slow. But since I was dealing with like, some knee stuff, joint issues and things like that, learning how to slow down, the thing that makes it very similar is like when I was going to work with like physical therapists or talking to somebody about some of the issues I had, like an athletic trainer, we would always do slow and controlled movements. So that's when I was like, oh, this is kind of similar, because I'm trying to slow down here. I'm trying to get muscle activation. I'm trying to get some blood into that area. So that's what really kept me coming back, is it was like amongst everything else that I was doing, like my running, my lifting, sport-specific stuff, this was kind of like that supplement that I could use to really, like, because I didn't like taking off days. So I'm like, I still want to get a good lift in, but I don't have to go to the gym to do that. I can go to a Lagree class.
Very cool. So let's talk about the actual business itself and what it was like, deciding that you were going to do it, deciding that this was going to be the path you guys take, and kind of going all in on this. What was the most difficult part about getting the gym actually open?
So I'm an entrepreneur now, so like I like taking on challenges. And the most difficult thing about getting the gym open was honestly construction. We got open pretty fast. Like, we knew that this is what we were going to do. And like we got open within like 3 to 4 months. Like we needed to get construction done. And once we got through that construction phase, we just like got our mirrorless in there. We got all the finishing touches done to the place. We also, during the same time period, we had to get like all of our instructors certified because we were already certified, and we needed to get them certified, get them coached up, and get in there to be able to teach people. And on top of that, we are a little bit different in our studio. Most Lagree studios are a little bit smaller. Not all of them. There are a lot of large Lagree studios, but we are on the larger side. And we wanted to operate a little bit differently. Like we wanted to create an experience for people. And we wanted to create like a community. And with us being in a nice shopping center like Summit Fair, like you really have to kind of like step your game up a little bit. So that's what we were trying to do. So we put a little bit more into our experience so that our clients could, you know, get a really good experience.
Can you go through some of those things that are differentiating factors about the experience at you guys' gym?
I really stress, with me being like a big fitness guy, I've been to like, not all the gyms, but like I got over, you know, I was all over going to different gyms. Like I tell people I try a new gym every 2 to 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just how I am. And as well as like fitness, I'm really big into, you know, studio fitness as well. But what really differentiates us is when I, you know, throughout my experiences of going to different gyms and different studio fitness, is really trying to eliminate people feeling like a number. And obviously it's business. Like you invest money into a business, you want a return on investment. So let's not forget about that, like the goal. But we really wanted people to have an experience when they walk through our doors. We stress hospitality in our business. There's nothing like spending like $100 or more a month on a gym membership and not get good hospitality.
Yeah, and we get that a lot. That just the community, and I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot, like community. But if you remember people's names, you remember what they have going on in their life. That's a really big thing for us, and also making people feel welcome across the board. I don't care, big, small, short, tall, what you're wearing. You can be in a yoga set, you can be in sweatpants, you can have your hair on top of your head, you can have makeup on. Any male, female, everywhere in between, you're welcome there. And like we kind of touched on earlier, that it's scalable. So you can literally we have a 7-foot tall male member, and then we have 5 feet tall women that may be breaking 100 pounds. And we can all get in there and we can get after it. And so it's just really fun, because I feel like that's where we kind of separate ourselves a little bit, and we have a good time. We have good music. We have a mural in there. We brought in a muralist, Danny Roma, and it was really important that, like you said, it's like you're choosing to come in here and hand me your hard-earned money, and so what we need to do is provide a really great escape for you, a really great experience. I never want you to walk out of that room and go, man, like that was too easy of a workout, or I didn't feel welcome, or I didn't have fun, or man, the music was terrible today.
I feel like what, you know, with, you know, these machines could be intimidating for somebody who is not familiar with it. And so the focus on culture's got to be there, you know, because it's like, if not, I could see a lot of people being like,
and turning around and being like, oh,
yeah,
no.
It's kind of CrossFit-ish in a way, because It's like, you know, there's people doing things and you're like, oh, I could never do that. Mm-hmm. You know, I watched that video earlier and I was like, I don't know if I could do that. You know,
the approachable, you know, factor is tough at times, I'm sure.
That's what your branding's good at, though, because your branding's, it's welcoming, you know.
And that's what we get from people a lot. Like all the time, we're like, it's very welcoming in here, very welcoming. And I wanted to add on that, like, our gym is very sports specific because of our backgrounds, and we have people from varying demographics that walk through our studio. It's not really studio fitness. We want people when they walk in there to think that I'm at a gym, because we also have red light therapy and cold plunge.
I was going to say, I thought those were some pretty good differentiating factors as well.
And yeah, and it's, you know, honestly, right now our members are, you know, probably I would say 90% women right now.
Single men.
Yeah,
I know.
Come to
I'm telling
Notion.
you,
I know.
and
Every day is ladies'
these
night.
girls, yes, every
Single men get at Notion,
Yeah,
dude.
but
where you find the
I
ladies.
but honestly, we were, because with that demographic and it being a new studio over there, with the marketing that surrounds studio fitness nowadays, it's very, it's meant to attract women, which is it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because Pilates and Lagree were created by men, and they were with the intent to actually help men more than it was for women. So on the mainstream, it's really been about attracting like women, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like we love our women clients, like they keep us going. But with the way our gym is set up, you would think like most women wouldn't go do cold plunge, but we got some tough
some
women up in
hardcore
there.
women, yeah, and that's a big thing for us is we want you to train hard, so you have to recover hard.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing. Is you gotta,
And that's why we put in
hard.
the cold plunge and the red light. It actually speaks to both of us and our backgrounds in sports. But you get in there and you get your workout in, you got your cold plunge afterwards to get rid of some of that inflammation, and then you get the red light therapy for revitalization, and then we also offer, protein drinks and stuff like that.
You guys do smoothies and shakes?
We're thinking about doing that. That's honestly why, I met one of your guys' reps at a marketing event a few months ago or a month or so ago.
Do you remember his name?
Elijah.
Elijah Burris. Shout out Elijah.
Yeah, so we spoke.
He came in for class. Thanks,
did.
Elijah,
Yeah.
representing the guys.
Yeah,
Right.
dude.
And so met him, and then I'm a big supplement guy. Anybody that knows me knows that I got supplements at the house right now, so I gotta have them. But that's what we're trying to gear more toward is really add in that supplement aspect of like you got your workouts and then your physical recovery, but then add in that that post workout.
We have some grab and go,
Some nutritional recovery to go
yeah.
with it. Some grab and go options at the time.
Yeah.
very
So we have
cool.
some like clear protein soda and
Things
some
like that.
options.
Which brand you guys go with for the clear protein soda?
Clean Simple Eats.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good. That
Yeah,
cherry
man.
limeade.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild what they can do these days, right?
Oh my gosh, I was laughing with some younger people the other day. That I'm like, you did not have to suffer through the plugged nose, like chugging protein that some of us had to about 15 years ago. Where
Or try the eggs. I tried the eggs, stir up, and
I know nowadays you can pop open the soda, Clean Simple Eats, clear protein soda. Nothing.
I know my
You
kids-
guys carry something great out there. I'm going to grab
My
on my way out. It's
Which
like
one?
it's a cherry lime also.
Oh, the clear.
Yeah.
Clear protein?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm
wild,
grabbing it on
right?
the way out.
Are you guys, because I shopped at one of your stores quite a bit back in the day, but are your guys' brands, you have your own specific brand and sell other brands too? Or
We just sell other people's brands. So yeah, we bring in brands, we drop brands pretty aggressively, but yeah, we're just a retailer of different brands.
Collection of brands, if you will. But First Form was most probably closely associated with us because the ownership that started First Form also started Supplement Superstore. But two totally different companies, two different groups, two different offices, et cetera, et cetera.
That's probably the clear protein you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, First Form
Elijah,
is
he
really
came
good.
and did a sample at the studio the other day. Maybe had two sample cups.
I mean, the supplement industry has changed. Like I feel like when I first started, like she was saying, there was like everything tastes bad, but now it's like, you can get the protein sodas and everything.
It's
like
crazy. My kids are now like at the end of the night, they'll be like, "Dad, can I have a milkshake?" And they want protein powder.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about that 15 years ago, no kid would be ever asking
Oh,
for
no.
the stuff that was
Yeah.
around. It used to be so terrible.
I know it's getting better though. That's what's awesome about it. It's like you can, because most people like I say most people, I don't know, but like most people don't want to like have to give up good tasting stuff to eat healthy.
Most people just simply won't.
Yeah.
Right. The barrier of entry for supplements, and we try to explain this to our team all the time, is that you either have to make you feel good or it's going to have to, that's his son. It's so funny. Either has to make you feel good or it has to taste good.
Yeah.
Got to be one or the other, right? So some of the, one of the biggest crazes I think in the last 5 years has been people drinking greens. And like greens taste horrendous.
They do.
It doesn't matter. Like, and so how long does that craze last? Not very long.
They do.
Because they don't taste good.
But they do make you feel good.
But they make you feel great.
Yeah.
Make you feel great, especially if you're consistent with them. My gosh. I can always tell if I haven't drank my greens in a few days, and it's my digestion every time. So, but yeah, if you don't, if it's not unmistakable, it's like the most forgotten supplement I think in the game is the multivitamin. And it's like it's like absolutely the most necessary for most people. But because you just don't feel any different if you take it or you don't take it, you just don't remember to do it.
Right.
Pretty wild. Moving forward, you guys said you had a really great offer for people that were getting started with Lagree that would love to try out Notion. I'd love to hear what you guys, have to offer for anybody listening.
Absolutely. We don't just do a free class. We do an entire free week. So technically you can get a free week and a half. It's not just unlimited Lagree, it's unlimited recovery. So try out that cold plunge, try out that red light therapy also, because we want you to really give it a chance. That first class you do, it again, right? You look at it a little intimidating. We move the whole time. We have quick transitions, 10 seconds between movements or less. So that first class is always a little, okay, what did I just go through? And then that second class, that second class, you're like, okay, that was better. I did a lot better. Third class, fourth class, I can guarantee you, if you come 3 to 5 times in that 7-day period, you're like, here, I'm here. I can already feel my body changing. So I always laugh because the first time I did Lagree, Jonathan drugged me there and I left and I said, I hate that. I'm never doing it again. Why? Because it humbled me. I said, oh my gosh, I could run, 13 miles and weightlift, whatever, but that just humbled me. And that was the addicting part too. Yeah, just as much physical as it is mental.
If you're into the fitness industry for a long period of time, you start seeking out the things you're not good at.
Absolutely, and that's why my favorite moves are the ones I used to be awful at.
Right.
There's a move, and if you've ever done Lagree, there's a move called scrambled egg. Now, what that looks like, it's like a...
It sounds terrible.
It sounds
like it's not a fun move.
Luke's on it. He's going to come with it.
Look up the scrambled egg.
Scrambled egg looks like...
Scrambled egg.
It's essentially you're holding a plank, but sweeping your leg out to the side against tension.
With tension load.
So much oblique. I was so bad. Yes, look at that. Okay, so she has to stabilize at her core. She's sweeping down that cable is pulling her forward where it's on the arch of her foot and she's sweeping back. I used to be awful at this. Why? Because I had no obliques and I didn't realize it until you put me on that machine and I was like, how is this possible? I would say that's not even possible. And so now it's become my favorite. And so like you said, it's what we're not good at now. The longer you're working, you're like, give me something I'm not good at. Just absolutely cook me. Just make it hard, make it sore, make me sore.
Yeah.
I just want to be challenged. And also, and kind of going back earlier of saying, like, why did you choose Lagree? It's because it's just as much mental as it is physical. I still love dynamic stuff. I still love to be competitive, but Lagree, I had to be competitive against myself and just be real with myself of being like, I can't just compensate my way through. I can't fake my way through things anymore. It's like, oh wow, I'm weak here. This is my weakness.
Right.
Now let's make it our strength. And so that's been a really big fun part of it. Not that you have to be any age. We truly have like 16-year-olds in there that just rock it. We have 60-year-olds in there that absolutely rock it. So it's everywhere across the board. But I feel like once you get to that point where you're saying, challenge me, truly challenge me, like how can you find my weaknesses? And that's Lagree right there for you. It gets a little addicting. So
I can imagine, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm like we talked about how I'm not the most mobile guy, and that's been a sad common theme on this podcast for people that we've had.
Understatement of all time.
Yeah.
But your wife is a yoga instructor?
That's right.
Don't. They're the opposite.
I've been to her class many a time. She's great. But I will say, like, what you're showing, it's like, I don't care who you are. Doesn't matter how, what fitness level you're at. Obviously, you can challenge yourself based on, how many spring loads you want to put on, et cetera. Like, you're never going to be an expert. It sounds like Lagree will humble you no matter where you're at with your fitness levels.
Absolutely. We call them the Lagree shakes. And the more advanced you get, I mean, we were working with Lacey Looney, was the senior master trainer that came. She's literally like a robot. She's like AI. If you created just like this most fit human ever, and she shakes more than anyone I have worked out with. It's because you just sit in it longer. You just sit with that pain, with that shake. And so, yeah, it never gets easier. You just continue to make it more challenging.
Our friend doing the scrambled egg on the screen over there that Luke pulled up, I was like, I mean, she does not making that look easy. You know, she's supposed to.
Yeah.
But I was like, you could see her shaking.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
You start to shake, and it's super fun. And that's, I love when guys come in too, because their booty's going to shake. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You guys, I want to ask a specific question to the studio. I saw Luke, can you do me a favor? Go back to like the full studio setup. And, you guys showed some different videos of people holding what I guess, for maybe for the lack of a better term here, barbell, their weights, if you will, that they were standing on. Like, is that part of the Megaformer, or is that something that Notion has?
So so what they were working, kind of gliding down, it was almost like
it's the vertical pole.
So that
right
is
there.
actually a balance pole, because you can see all those spring loads when you're doing some lunging. Essentially imagine lunging on a moving surface. So your front foot is going to be on that front platform, and then you're only going to have probably one white spring, and you're lunging, and you could lose your balance. So those are just balance poles, stability poles there. And then we utilize them sometimes for just a little something. They're
they
max
come up
10
off
pounds.
the ground though, right?
Yeah, and you can move them side to side. But it's truly for balance and stability, because when we're lunging on a machine, some people don't have, so there was that nice little panel to pop up. It just changes how we're working through there. That one's called a bear, everyone's favorite. But if
that
you
one
can
sucks.
kind of, so coming up
a
onto
mountain
some
climber.
of these
Right there.
like lunges and such like that.
That reminds me of those wheels. You used them.
The ab wheel?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I cue sometimes is like, guys, you're on a giant ab roller,
Right.
a giant ab wheel. You're gliding that carriage away. So that's what I'm talking about, that core stability, because you can hold like just like a dead bug position, right? But then as you start to say, okay, now let's move, that's what makes it functional. That's what will
Right.
carry over into CrossFit. It's like, okay, I'm stabilizing through movement now versus my brain only knowing how to stabilize my spine when I'm like just perfectly still.
In the bottom of a squat, or at the top of a squat.
Yeah.
And if I may add, like, because you brought up, like, you never feel like you'll hit like a plateau. You may at one point be like, okay, I need to do something different. But Lagree is a live method, meaning that the founder is only 53 years old, so it's going to continue to evolve. It's evolved over 25 years. The Mega Pro is only one of the many machines they have. He's always changing. The workout's always being refined, different moves, changing it up how you do it. I mean, they're coming out with new machines even in this next year called the Evo. So there's a lot of fun, stuff and refinement going on with this.
To that point, Jonathan, what's the programming like for it, and who does that programming?
So for our studio, Kinsey is our operational manager, and she deals with like all of our teaching and programming. But our teachers, they're certified, so they have the right to kind of like make their own programs. We do follow like Lagree as it is, made and how they want us to teach it. Not every studio, and we have to say this, like, just because you have the same machines don't mean that you teach Lagree. So
Understood. Yeah.
you can always, it's your studio, so you can teach what you want. But us at Notion Lagree, we teach Lagree as it is taught by the founder.
Understood.
Cool.
So, the movements and the variations can vary based on the programming of the instructor.
Absolutely. And honestly,
They're
especially
similar
with
to
our-
maybe yoga, maybe similar to that
Yeah,
aspect.
for sure. Where it's like, here's
we're doing
a
yoga
1,000
poses,
movements.
but we're going to put them all together in this kind of order.
Exactly.
Sure.
So here's 1,000 movements and variations. And honestly, when I program, and I know a lot of my instructors, when they're programming, they look at who's in their class that day. And you kind of are like, okay, that's what's
Edit
great
it
about
to
our...
whoever's there.
Exactly. You're like, oh, I know this girl, she this crew that comes in at this
You
time.
don't want to scare off new beginners.
Yeah, they want to be
Yeah.
cooked. But then we do have
Jeff's
a
here,
foundation level
hamstrings
class.
only.
We have a foundations level class where it's not easy, just more foundational movements, but that's what's really great about knowing your community too. And there's only 12 machines in there. So that's why you can, I walk laps. I'm like a shark. I literally have like 9 miles some days just in the studio because you're checking everybody. You get to know people really well. You get to know what weaknesses people have, what people love, what people hate. You can talk to them after class. Hey, what do you want to work on, tomorrow? And we're always programming. But yeah, there's, I'd say roughly 1,000 moves with different variations and such like that. So then similar to yoga, where here's your movements, now make it your own program.
I love that.
Very cool. Very cool. I would say the thing that is the last question that I'd have in regards to it is, so if somebody is wanting to come into the gym, do they just walk into the gym, or do you guys have a sign up?
Yeah, so online, notionfit.com, there's a free class button, and then under our pricing page, you can get the free week also. But
Nice.
we've had people pop in and just be like, hey, what
What's
is this
up?
place? Yeah, anytime we're open, if you want to come in and say hi. But it is really nice to at least know that you're coming so we can know a new person is. So we do encourage signing up. Some of our classes are full, and so we never want you to show up thinking you're going to get a workout and you don't have a spot.
How many classes
don't
a
wanna
day are
waste
you
your
guys
trip.
doing?
A lot. Some
We do
days.
about 11 classes Monday through Friday, and then
So
on
Mondays
the
are
weekends,
super busy.
Was not expecting that. That's a
No,
lot of
we
classes.
have a ton. We have on the hour 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. Sometimes at 10, and then we do a noon or a 1, and then we either start back up at 4 or 5, or sorry, 3 or 4, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes we run an 8 because there's some nurses and some moms out there that sneak out the door, pop into an 8 p.m. class. That's a big thing for us too. You have to have a class time that works for you. Now our 5 and 6 a.m. crew, they're going to show up. They're up.
was
They're
shocked the
ready
5
to
a.m.
go.
crew is
5
there.
a.m. We used to run 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and they're like, "Can we have a Friday?" I was like, "Don't you guys want to sleep in?"
even with the weather change, they're there. So
Yeah.
we're proud of them for doing that.
Yeah. So we run some classes if you need a class time.
I have
we
this
it.
theory
Yeah,
about
for-
5 a.m. workout people. They're just different type of people. They
Absolutely.
are like not human.
Nope.
People that go to our gym at 5 a.m., you'll be like, I've never seen you before. Who are you?
Yeah, they're
It's because
wild.
they only go to the gym at that time.
At 5 a.m.
They only go at 5 a.m.
Exactly.
They don't want to go to gym
you
any
see
other
them
time.
in daylight, and you're like, oh, hey, what
like
are you
seeing a
doing
vampire.
here? I know, what are you doing here? You always show up at 5 a.m. and they're gonna show up. I teach 5 a.m.s on Mondays, and I wake up at like 3:30, get my coffee, and I'm in there. Like, good morning, guys, and they're just.
Hey, what's going
Good
on?
morning.
Yeah, ready to go.
Exactly. But then one of our 5 a.m. instructors, I mean, she's just a ball of energy. She actually sometimes comes in cold plunges at 4:30 a.m. and then instructs at 5 a.m. and
Let's go.
ball of energy. But yes, they're different.
Right.
They're different people.
You guys on the website, it showed, you guys had upfront pricing. It was something I wasn't sure if we wanted to talk about on the podcast or not.
Sure.
But it seems wildly affordable. So if you guys could
Absolutely.
just talk me through kind of like the different, because you were mentioning earlier, Jonathan, that some people are, using it as a collaborative effort with other exercising or other gym memberships they may have. It seems like it could be really complementary.
Yeah, so I'll go briefly through that, and then I'll let Kinsey go through the pricing. But like we really strive to, especially being in like the area that we are in, Lagree can be pretty pricey just because, I mean, the machine itself, you are getting a high quality upscale workout. It's luxury based, so it deserves the price that it's getting.
No, not to mention your guys' unbelievable schedules. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many classes for people to choose from.
Right. And we try to, because I'm in my background, like I had like 5 or 6 different gym memberships at one time, and I used ClassPass to try out different stuff. So we wanted to, kind of separate ourselves, and we found like there's a market of people who really love fitness, but you may not get them if they can't have more than one membership. And that's kind of like where I feel like fitness is right now. Yeah, you have ClassPass and some of these things that are trying to remedy that, but it's still not enough for some people. So our prices are to the point to where like you can have 1 or 2 other options if you would like. And we want people to have 1 or 2 other options because we all go through that point where we're looking through our budget or we're seeing that credit card and it's like, I spent that on that this month. And you look to cut things, we don't want it to be Notion. So like we want it to be, something else, but at least you'll be like when you pass Notion, well, at least they're affordable enough that I can try other things. So
Definitely.
but I'll let you go through the pricing.
Yeah, so we're at $165 unlimited Lagree, which is truly the lowest in the area. And of course, I just
About
updated this
$100
last
cheaper.
night, so it's not showing up. So then we also have the Core 8, which is 8 classes a month. That's $135. We have a Notion discount, $99 a month. If I can recommend anything, it's that 205 unlimited Lagree and recovery. So
You
that's
can't get
actually
that
less than a lot of unlimited Pilates in the area, but otherwise it's not showing up there. Sorry. I'm probably in trouble, but it's $165 for unlimited Lagree. We also have class packages. So we're at $30 drop in. Don't pay that. Just go ahead and grab a 5-pack, divide it on out. I sit there with some people and we do math. How many times a week are you going to be coming? All right, you're going to be coming this many days a week, this many times a month. Does it make sense more class package wise? You don't want any sort of commitment, or do you want to focus more on that membership wise? So we're definitely the most Lagree affordable in the area because it's important that people can afford to work out. We believe we have to be accessible. So that's why we have the community that we have. There's a lot of people that are members that probably wouldn't be able to be members, or I know they wouldn't be able to be members because
Actually,
they
probably
couldn't afford.
we have probably, I would say, at least 30 to 40% of our members would not be members at any Lagree Studio if it wasn't for our pricing.
Yeah.
We also offer a free community class every Saturday, and the concept behind it is to offer studio fitness to people who can't otherwise. It's not in their budget, but also too, you may be able to only afford our Core 8 membership, which is 8 classes a month. But with our free, community class, you can actually get 4 free classes.
Yeah, an extra 3 or 4 a month.
Yeah, so it's like we really wanted to build that in for people because, like I said, this is a premium product, and it's not because of us. It's because of what Lagree has become over the years, but making it more accessible for people. And when you come into our studio, because normally when you drop prices, you're getting what you pay for. At our studio, you are getting more than what you're paying for. And we don't foresee ourselves raising our prices or anything like that because the smiling faces that we get from people about, like, I couldn't do this if it was this price, has really opened up the doors for some people who really love Lagree.
I love that.
We love that, man. And to break it down just a little bit further, I want to highlight some of the things we've talked about today as we're getting here ready to wrap up. Kinsey, you mentioned community earlier and mentioned, hey, people just kind of throw that around, and I couldn't agree more. It's something we really truly focus on with our business, and it's feel like it's very trendy, but I feel like community is more of an act than it is a word. And based on all the things that you're saying, you guys have just demonstrated time and time, we want to meet people where they're at, if you will, whether it be their schedule, right, with how many classes you guys provide, the pricing, even for those who can't afford or maybe potentially want to bring a friend but they feel intimidated. Hey, we can go on the community class on Saturday. It won't cost you a dime. So it just feels extreme, like you guys have just thought through really intentionally how to make it more approachable for people, but also to meet them where they're at, to make it easy on them to get started and to fall in love with it like you guys have. So just really huge congratulations. I think you guys are executing it extremely well.
I appreciate that, and I really like what you said. Community is an act. I'm still on that one, so you should trademark it because it is. You have to. You can't just say, "Guys, we're a community," and wave a flag of "Oh, look, we're a community." It's no, you have to actually demonstrate that in action every single day. Are you memorizing the people's names? Do you memorize what they're feeling like, what's going on in their life, how you can help them in any sort of way? We're very accommodating. And it's because we actually really, really care about our members. I truly care about
the
these
phrase
members.
we hammer so hard here, and our staff can tell you what Luke could tell you right now is we really are believers in people don't care what you know until they know you care. Mm-hmm. Right. And so, you guys could have the smartest instructors, right? But if they're on their phone when people walk in and they're just doodling around, they might have all the knowledge, but if they don't simply care about the people that are walking in the door and leaving whatever they have going on outside, you're not going to create the environment that people want to stick around in. And so I think you guys completely, project that into everything that you guys have said and how you guys are approaching the whole business. So I have no doubt things are going to continue to go well for you guys, and we're super proud of what you guys are doing.
I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for having us on. It means the world, truly.
Yeah, we really do. And if I may say, with the community, there's a lot of companies out there, and there's nothing worse than going to a company that they say something and then you go in and you make the purchase and you walk out and it doesn't feel like what was said. Mm-hmm. It not only reflects bad on that company, it makes being a business owner hard for everybody. because then people become less trustful.
Yeah,
in
erodes
the
trust.
market. So we really wanted to build like that trust with our members, and we feel like we've accomplished that because we're getting really good feedback. But we really thank you guys for having us on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys. I loved hearing you guys' story. Loved, interested to go check it out and see if Jeff can get a little bit more
Nimble, if you will. We got one question to wrap this up. You guys are both Kansas Cityans. Both are born and raised in this area. You know your barbecue. You have to.
Ooh.
It's a tough.
I grew up Zarda's. I grew up in Blue Springs. My dad go get some beef and ham combos, some ribs. They're slaw. I'm sorry. They're slaw. It's that vinegar
Chef's
slaw.
kiss, the vinegar
Chef's
slaw.
kiss. It's the vinegar-based slaw. You know,
All right,
I sneak
here's
that
my
out.
question,
I know it might
Why
not
are
be
you
the
looking at
most
Jonathan like
popular.
you guys?
He must
literally-
not like slaw. He's not a
Yeah.
slaw guy.
I'm
just
not
like,
a-
I don't
I'm
even-
not a
Creamy slaw
slaw
for some-
guy.
Hold
telling
on.
you, it's an easy
You don't
answer
like
for me.
slaw on like
I
a
can tell we hit a buzz button.
a
here, man.
Carolina-
You guys are upset.
a Carolina,
Style
barbecue
barbecue?
sandwich.
I mean, I'll try it, but I have to say this. I have to give Jack Stack their props. I think there's like 7 Jack Stacks in the area.
Spoken like a man with in Lee Summit. You know.
There's
we're
7
just
Jack
down the
Stacks in the
way.
area,
Yeah.
and if you go to each single Jack Stack, because I respect good business,
Heck yeah.
they
Yeah.
are the same at each Jack Stack, the same quality.
They are
so
very good.
consistent. So
cons-
consistent.
and you
Their
wonder why they-
catering so consistent.
Everything's consistent, and I can respect that as a business person. But honestly, Q39 is good.
Yeah.
You just like them all. There is
I like
no
them
favorite.
all. I don't
you
have a
put it-
favorite. I
yeah.
grew up on Gates. A lot of people, they say what to say, but I can go to all of them in 1 week
Yeah, you can.
and like all.
I want to
of
know
them,
your
so.
guys's.
Oh man, I'm a little biased because I live in a neighborhood where a barbecue spot just opened up, so I've been shouting them out a lot lately. But Wolfpack Barbecue in Columbus Park, you guys have heard of it yet?
No, but
haven't
we're
heard
going
of
That's
there
that's
this weekend.
that's why we're bringing it up.
Yeah,
So,
Wolfpack. Okay.
Wolfpack Barbecue. Jared Wolf's the owner. It's like Wolf with an E on the end.
Oh, cool.
But they start, classic, like most of the great barbecue spots here in town, right? They start from humble beginnings. He was just like, they were a team, and then they just started to do like a pop-up in the back of a brewery, call sign brewery in North Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have their own standalone location that's been open for a couple of years. But their burn ends, I would say, put up is like, because Kansas City's about burn ends. I put them up with the top.
You
like,
busy tonight?
The rest of the food they have is like pretty good. It's like I've had food that tastes just as good, but look at that brisket right there, dude.
Okay.
That
no.
brisket
Hit that
looks
button.
good.
I mean,
Is
dude,
that what
yeah.
you? So that's what you're ordering?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I've had 2, just terrible
Oh my God.
digestion episodes after having their
Oh,
burn
some
ends a
pickled
couple
red
times.
onion. Oh my gosh!
They-
Just to get your greens, get those greens.
Well,
in
like
and-
they have kind of like so again, a little small unique things. I know you guys mentioned the details of the other spots is so they do like a special, every day or every, their desserts and like their sides. They have like some chef driven, aspects to it, right? So they have like a lobster dish with the barbecue, you know what I mean? It's just some unique stuff that you're not going to just see like, cheesy potatoes or cheesy corn, you know what I mean? Like they have the classics, but they also throw in a little
love
extra.
it. Yeah.
What about you, Kyle?
Have you ever had slaps? Oh,
Man, I never had slaps.
Slaps good.
Oh, dude. You guys got to try slaps too. That's
Squeal like a pig.
only 5 minutes
good.
from Wolfpack, but yeah, slaps is
Okay.
in KCK.
Okay.
Near Minnesota Ave.
Oh, I feel like maybe we haven't.
We have. We'll have to.
But that was like a.
I also- I
Barstool
also-
put that in their top 3
Yeah.
is Kansas City.
Q39 and Jack Stack both
Yeah,
can't go wrong.
We only brought up
Oh,
what
yeah,
we
I
brought up
can't
because you
let-
guys brought up Q39 and
Right.
Jack Stack. We
We
love
gotta
Joe's too, of
recommend our
course.
our local spots because I say the bigger names, but like there are a lot of good like local small owned barbecue joints.
Bro, there's one in you say you're from Grandview.
Yeah.
What's that spot in Grandview that everybody loves? Is it no, it's like a pig. It's got like a pig name in it. But I'm telling you, it's like one of the most popular. People always shout it out. It's from Grandview.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name. I went there.
It's got a pig name.
Porky's?
Is it Porky's? I think it is. Porky's. No, I think you nailed it. Is it Porky's in Grandview?
It's like unpopular opinion is I don't.
What's it say
love
right there, Lou?
barbecue.
Upper right?
It's not like all the time. It's like a here and there thing. It has to be
No.
the summer. I have to be
No.
sitting.
No.
I have to be sitting on the
No.
back deck, and
I'm gonna have to bleep you out.
Wait, what's your favorite type of food then?
I just like like some Indian, some Thai, some Vietnamese.
I can get down with Thai. Make
that's,
it extra
good.
spicy.
That's gonna be that's my jam. Not that there's nothing wrong with barbecue, but if I'm walking out that door to go get some food,
Porky's.
It is.
Porky's blazing.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if I've been to Porky's.
I haven't had it either, but people shout it out.
All right.
Honestly, my favorite barbecue joint that
That
I've ever
looks
been
classic.
to is called Sugar Fire. I don't know if you've heard of it.
In St. Louis? Come on,
Bro,
man. That's the best.
I used to
could-
live in Kentucky, and I used to go to one. I shouldn't have been, but
It's
I went
it's
there
actually
way
based out
too
of St.
much.
Louis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they do
So was that good
franchising.
or
But
no?
dude, it's
Well,
phenomenal.
The Pitmaster from Pappy's, which was, I mean, it still is like a classic, iconic barbecue
Louis
spot
spot.
in St. Louis. He left and he started Sugar Fire, and Sugar Fire is good.
It's amazing.
Maybe
They-
you guys
Their
should-
ribs, Sugar
I was
Fire's
there way
ribs
too
are.
much.
They're
Way
like
too
a everything they make is good kind of place.
Yeah.
You know?
It is. It's just nothing you can. I probably was there. Sometimes I had a phase where I was there like 2 or 3 times a week. It was-
Bro, did you do the cornbread? That's like my favorite thing there.
I did everything, and I got a
Yeah.
little bit of a discount too. So I was.
That like
Really?
crack-
Going-
couldn't afford
That-
not to go eat there.
that
right?
they're
I'm
like
losing
crack
money
pie,
if I
like
don't eat
desserts
here
that are
3
crazy.
times a week.
I know.
Man. You
Anyways.
guys should start a food podcast. You guys sound like you can talk some
We
food.
could.
Well,
Let's talk about
every
the
epi-
exact
what
opposite
episode
of what we
number
do
are
for work.
What
every
episode number
day.
are we on? Like this is like 180 episodes where everybody we talk about barbecue with. So we are setting a good foundation for a
There
barbecue
you go.
podcast
Yeah.
based on the amount of conversations we've had about barbecue on here. But absolutely excited for you guys. Everybody go check out Notion. How do they find you guys on social? Shout out some websites, maybe some socials.
Yes,
so they can get a hold of you.
notionfit.com. Go to notionfit.com anytime. Email info@notionfit.com. We're right there for you. Notion Lagree is what our Instagram and Facebook is. It's Notion Lagree, but our website's Notion Fit.
Wonderful.
Reach
Thank
out
you guys so much
anytime.
for your time. And
Thank you,
we'll talk again
guys.
soon.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
thanks for having us.